Hi everyone, my name is Yi, and here's my capstone project, Parkway and Park System in Lodi, Wisconsin. My ultimate goal of this project is to bridge the small town charm. My project includes two parts, and I have been working with two client groups. The first one is the Spring Creek Parkway and Park System, and my client is the City of Lodi. Their vision is to create a continuous linear park with a riverwalk trail. The second part of my project is the Wildenberg Park, and my client is Town of Lodi Park Commission. Their vision is to create a natural prairie park that is usable and fun to explore. Now let's look at my project area. My two project sites are located in Columbia County, north of Dane County. The Spring Creek Parkway is located in City of Lodi, while the Wildenberg Park is located in the Harmony Grove community in Town of Lodi. The two project sites are 5 miles away from each other, about 10 minutes drive. Regionally, the two sites belong to the same water system, the Lake Wisconsin watershed. City of Lodi and Town of Lodi were found in pretty much the same time period, and their development was closely related to water. Downtown City of Lodi, the main street, was developed adjacent to the Spring Creek. Also, Harmony Grove community, the second largest community in Town of Lodi, was developed near Lake Wisconsin. I also want to share the interesting history of City of Lodi, Sooty the Duck. In 1948, a country mailer settled in downtown Lodi and nested in a large mason basket at Spring Creek Park. It was nicknamed Susie by the granddaughter of the police chief. Now, an annual Sooty the Duck Day is celebrated, and the City of Lodi is also known as the home of Sooty the Duck. I first conducted regional analysis on Columbia County and Lake Wisconsin watershed. Firstly, I looked at population data and found that there is an increasing poverty and decreasing workforce participation, which indicates the need of promoting tourism and adding new business opportunities. For the social aspect, the public health ranking of Columbia County is number 35, compared with Dane County, which ranked number 11th. Main public concern in Columbia County is physical inactivity, which shows the need to increase outdoor exercise opportunities. Finally, in ecological aspect, main water quality concerns in the region include sediment accumulation, phosphorus loading, and groundwater contamination, which are all related to stormwater runoff. Ways to improve water quality include incorporating green infrastructure and maintaining riparian areas. Another issue in City of Lodi is the frequent flooding issue, which need to be addressed throughout the design process as well. I then investigated community opportunities and constraints for both City of Lodi and Harmony Grove community. I'll start from City of Lodi and only talk about the most important ones in this presentation. The biggest opportunities is the existing green spaces, including developed parks, Lodi Golf Club, and nearby Lodi Marsh State Natural Area, which can all be connected through the proposed Spring Creek Parkway system. Also, rich visitor attractions, historic events, and art events are also great opportunities to draw visitors, such as Agricultural Fair, Sooty the Duck Day, and Friday Out Walk. These events could be integrated into the park design. In terms of the constraint, biggest one is the lack of accessibility to the creek and difficulties to navigate between different parks. Existing problematic conditions along Spring Creek include disconnected paths, blocked views, private puzzles, ADA inaccessibility, and narrow sidewalks. Another constraint is the lack of community awareness and connection, especially between the young people and the creek. In this map, darker color indicates high use density, so the map shows that young people and schools are disconnected from the Spring Creek. Therefore, educational nodes should be added near the creek to draw the youth to the parkway and park system. I also identify Harmony Grove's opportunities and constraints. The biggest one is the opportunity to restore oak savanna and sand prairie habitat. However, throughout the design process, we also need to protect the endangered wildlife species, especially slender glass lizard. Finally, I look at specific site conditions. I broke up my site into 4 different zones, and I will talk about my focus site, Zone 2, and Wildenberg Park in detail. For Zone 2, the parkway that goes through downtown city of Lodi, there is about 43% of commercial land use and 27% of residential land use. And there are connection gaps that need to be connected to link residential areas to business areas. Since it is the most developed area, there are 90.6% of roof area and 47% of impervious surface, which means that stormwater management would be very important to minimize impact on the Spring Creek. The first concern areas in Zone 2 is the only privately owned parcel near the creek, with 2 existing mini warehouses which now block the access to the creek. Another concern area is the parking lot behind the business buildings on Main Street. Adding a parkway may lose parking stalls here, which is not favorable by residents. Throughout the whole parkway system, I found unpleasing alleyways which need to be improved later. Also, I will try to keep the characteristic materials such as stone and steel to keep the traditional with the twist style according to residents' preferences. Lastly is the analysis for Woodenbrook Park. There were existing junk on site, missing trail loop to be connected, and vegetation in bad conditions. Its slopes decreased toward Lake Wisconsin, making reducing water runoff and contamination a challenge. The comprehensive analysis helped me reaffirm my design goals. I will focus on promoting social interactions, environmental education, downtown business development, and local public art. Guided by my design goals and design strategies, I finally came up with this master plan. I divided my master plan into 3 zones: downtown, transitional, and natural zone. Before I talk about each zone, I want to talk about the different layers of my master plan. As for land use, I increased the percentage of commercial and especially mixed-use land use, while I keep most of the existing single and multifamily residential areas. This will promote local business and keep a separate but still interactive relationship between commercial and residential zones. As for trail system, in addition to the main parkway along Spring Creek, I also propose to include secondary trails in green spaces and alleyways connections. Bike paths will be added to the main street. This will increase the overall accessibility throughout the parkway system. There will be different levels of green spaces as well, including natural planting areas, parks, stormwater planters, or green roof. For vehicle circulation, I rearranged the locations of parking lots and propose to extend the street parking from Main Street to other roads other than Main Street to ensure sufficient parking stalls. Then let's look at each zone closely. This is the downtown Lodi zone. Main design elements include pedestrian bridges that replace the out-of-use ones, Doctors Park, the urban gateway park, and boardwalk system. This section shows the boardwalk that is part of the main parkway. The boardwalk can help save existing number of parking stalls and avoid narrowing the existing driveway. It can also provide a close access point to the beautiful view of the creek for people in the downtown areas. This image shows the proposed Doctors Park design. The tree lights in the park help screen the driveway traffic. The info kiosk makes Doctors Park an important destination as a gateway park to the whole Lodi community and to the parkway system. The terrace seating will be easy to implement because it follows the existing grades on site. The transitional zone plays an important role in connecting the southern downtown area with the northern quieter natural area. My focus site is within these areas too. Main design elements include Art Alley and Green Alley, as well as Main Street corridor, which extends beyond this zone. The crosswalk that connects these divided zones could be patterned into dog feet to reflect the Soothing the Dog history. As I mentioned earlier, unpleasing alleyways prevent people from exploring the Spring Creek. Therefore, the art alleys allow local artists to show off their artwork on the building walls while attracting more visitors. Similarly, planting vines on building walls greens the alleyways and attracts users as well. This section BB focuses on showing the Main Street green corridor. I propose to add bike lanes and tree lines along the Main Street while keeping the street parking and make sure there are sufficient rooms for the main traffic. Finally, the main Design elements in natural zone or within the cone park, including boardwalk and shelter system, rain garden, and log walk. This rendering shows that the natural prairie planting will be kept undisturbed. Together with the added rain garden, the plants will be great environmental education opportunities for the youth. The shelter could be turned into green shelter as well, with plants on top of the shelter. Here is the final plan for Wildenburg Park. The trail is connected with sitting benches and environmental educational sign along the trail. The slope decreases from northeast to southwest, and this rain garden can help filter stormwater. To increase outdoor exercise opportunities, the dead tree trunk can be reused and turned into colorful logs that people can climb on. To encourage people to explore the whole site, interesting tree houses or overlook structures can be incorporated near the top of the hill. Zooming to my site, which is previously 2 mini warehouses located in the transitional zone. The space is turned into a public area behind the proposed mixed-use and commercial buildings. My design concept is threading. The parkway connects the area in different directions. As you can see, the main parkway have the curved shape that mimicking the shape of the Spring Creek, and there are also straight alleyways and central access. These paths are like threads, and the green space and public space are like the clothes. The threads link the clothes as a cohesive part. The bird's-eye overview shows an overall character of the site as open, quiet, but vivid at the same time. I'll explain the main design elements from south to north, which is left to right here. Here is the stormwater planter. Water from the parking lot and the gentle hill will flow into the planter and filter by it. Here are pebble seats where parents can watch their children play in the nature play area nearby. As for the floating wetlands, they are beneficial for the creek ecosystem. It not only filters water, which helps improve water quality, but also provides more habitats for wildlife species. The floating wetlands can be placed near the rocks to create better habitat conditions. The construction detail focuses on lowering the cost of these floating wetlands by using the modular floating wetland system. It will be easy to install as well, so the wetlands can be applied to the whole creek system. I also propose an interactive water feature which has similar form with Spring Creek, which re-emphasizes the importance of the creek. People can sit, walk, and cross it. The benches on site will be lighted in the evening. As mentioned, rocks can not only help stabilize the creek bank, but also create better habitat with the floating wetlands. The open terrace can be a place for public events such as mini concert, group yoga, July the 4th firework events, and so on. The design of the open terrace is consistent with an existing design in Veterans Park that used limestone as the terrace edge. The lights on my site can help extend the hours of the area. When people from the mixed-use buildings finish working, they will be able to enjoy a night park. The kayak dock is for kayaking, and the form of this pedestrian bridge is also mimicking the shape of Spring Creek. The construction detail helps illustrate the form of the pedestrian bridge. Even the railing system has that curved form, and there will be LED light under the handrail to also help lighting the space. My site includes 3 levels: water, buffer zone, and public space, so my plans include 3 parts as well: aquatic, riparian, and R-plan. My plant selection for all 3 parts is based on 6 considerations: mostly native, non-invasive, not overly planted, seasonal interests, various colors and textures, high to medium flooding tolerance, and low maintenance. Here is the color palette for the plants, creating seasonal vibrance, and here's the location of stormwater planters and the plants that will be used. Finally, I also did grading and drainage plan for my site. The most challenging part is to ensure that most areas are above the flooding elevation of 812 feet and to prevent most of the stormwater flowing into the creek directly. I also ensure ADA accessibility through the grading plan. I collect water for reuse through drains and subsurface cisterns, as you can see here. This calculation sheet shows that I am able to reduce stormwater runoff through changing surface materials by about 8 cubic feet per second. I am also able to make the total cut overfill, so there will be no need to purchase any more soils during construction. To evaluate my design, I set up quantitative metrics last semester to help measure my success, and these are all achieved through the design proposal I just presented. In conclusion, my expected results of this project are bring economic, cultural, environmental, and social benefits to Lodi, increase connectivity and accessibility, create a sense of belonging, facilitate commercial and mixed-use development, promote local art, improve creek ecosystem, and improve public awareness of Spring Creek. Ultimately, I hope this project can serve as precedent for future protection of the creek and expansion of Spring Creek Park system. That's all I have in this presentation. Thank you for watching.